Test goes 1, 2, 3. Test goes 1, 2, 3. What's going on, people? What's going on, people, man? Wednesday, as you already know, Wednesday is the night of the Heavy Hitters Live. As you know, it is the choir of extraordinary minds. As we always state, the stats, the facts, and the truth over here. Your host, K Styles, aka the Sixth Man. And to my stage, I guess you could say my screen right, we have the Senator, Mad Mike Sports.
Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh.
And right below him, you know him as the residential minister, the fact speaker. Jew Talk Sports is in the building.
What to do, people?
Uh, I don't. Let me see. And we have a brand new character on the show today. Uh, we got instead of Chad Gable today, we got El Grande Cerro de Vera.
Gracias.
Verano. How about
Gracias.
yeah?
Buenos dias. Buenos dias.
Hey man, appreciate you coming in, man. Appreciate you coming in. As y'all, hey man, I was surprised you just got finished with a wrestling match before you decided to come on the show today, man.
Sí. Sí.
BPRA talking about oh shit. All right, man. Let's see. Let's give a shout out to the people that say here right now, man. We got A137 Sauce. We got King Treyway. Got Night Whisperer. We got Georgia, Texas boy. Like I said, BP in here. Sonya. Keyshawn Vlad. D. Coleman. We got the real Michael Walker. And let's go ahead and get right into this, man. I can't believe, man. We literally got about a month before the draft is on the way. This thing this offseason kind of went by a little bit faster than I anticipated. So as we get to this countdown, and we already know a lot of these pro days is coming up here, and a lot of interviews going on. Um, I let whoever want to go ahead and run point on this. What is your confidence level as far as the Falcons looking to improve this team as far as the draft? First of all, let me get this news out the way. I don't know if y'all heard, but I think they restructured some deals, some contracts in the form of AJ Terrell and Chris Lindstrom. So the Falcons are now officially close to 12 million in the black. For those that don't know what 12 million in the black means, that means they got money to spend. So, fellas, how do y'all feel about that? Yeah, one talk about Nacho Libre.
I think it's to be expected until we get that bomb off our team. This is what we're gonna need. At this point, this is exactly what we're gonna need. So it's like they converted the bonuses of AJ Terrell and Chris Lindstrom, as well as Jake Matthews. They converted those. So um, that's what happens when you get these guys this their money. But like I said, there's always a consequence to these types of things, and more than likely, at some point in time, we're going to start seeing one of those guys. They're going to get another extension. I think at least one of those three is going to get the extension. And I think we all know who that one, the Chris Lindstrom, AJ Terrell, and Jake Matthews. we know who's gonna get that extension.
It's going to be Kirk Cousins. But for real,
You know
Drew,
what?
what your
We just because.
well, you better not. I was gonna say you better not even try that. I shut all this down.
See, I knew he was gonna say that. I knew he was gonna say that. That's why I didn't.
Oh, nah. But Drew, man, what you think about the recent calibrating of the salaries and what do you think that does for the Atlanta Falcons as far as the cap space?
I mean, it gives the Falcons more flexibility, and I knew that that was coming. Like that, they were going to have to restructure some deals, possibly extend a couple of players, so we can create more cap space. But I think a lot of people are failing to realize that there's still a lot of talent that's out there. Like when we talk about free agency, we kind of focus on like the first week or the first 2 weeks, not realizing it's a long time before the season start. Like last year, we ain't signed Judon, Simmons into training camp. So it's a ton of time where you still can sign guys. Even after the draft, you can bring in free agents. So I'm not too concerned, to be honest with you guys. I'm just trying to see like what direction are we going in? Because I really feel like they're trying to wait for the draft to see what players fall to us at 15, or if we trade down, what players they get, so they know, where we need to fill or patch some holes on the team. Whether it's bringing Judon back, whether it's bringing a D Alford back. Like right now, I think even those players like Judon, they're kind of waiting till the chips, fall as well to see who drafts who, where will I fit best. It's players out there that's not signing places on purpose. Like, let me see where's the best fit for me. So what I'll say is just be patient because it's still really, really early. Like the teams that have a whole bunch of money, like cap space, those are the teams that make all of the big splashes in the first week or two. You want to watch later on, like after the draft and things of that nature. Once training camp start, that's when you still have chances to bring in guys. So you guys know why I sit with it. It's like as long as this coaching staff they have a vision for the team, I'm gonna trust Terry Fontenot. I'm gonna trust these guys and give them, put the ball in their court and see what they do. But like I said, man, it's still plenty of time. But I was expecting to see some restructures and things of that nature because the fans may forget that we still got to sign our draft class as well. So they had to open up some of that space. But I wouldn't mind trying to extend like a Jesse Bates, like extend his contract, like give him a mini extension to create some more space as well. He's another guy that I think we forget about that he's under that contract, but maybe you can extend him out, give him a little bonus, extend his contract a couple more years because he's proven that he's worth the money. And then boom, you got some more cap space. So, I'm not worried. I feel like the first wave of free agency, we seen the Falcons fill in, with the safety spot with Fuller, guys that are familiar with this coaching staff, the Leonard Floyds. Those are good glue guys to bring in to this team. You don't always need the big splash. They bring in guys that they're familiar with, that understand the scheme, so they can hit the ground running.
Mm, mm. Grande, what's your take on that?
Oh yeah, yeah. Um. So my thing is, you got to have money to get to be at the card table. So we didn't have that a month ago. Now we have enough money to sign our draft class and to renew. Like we say, like the free agency is not over yet. Like we got months leading up to preseason. Even during preseason, you can still play around with the free agency. Guess what? Teams after June 1st, they're gonna cut a lot of players. So that's a lot of talent that we can probably sign, later on, as before the season starts. And also, what Drew said about sign like extending guys. That's another way you can open up cap space too. So, um, I'm good with the cap that we have now. I know they're probably gonna add some more money to it by contracts or whatever. But at this point, I'm really just looking at the draft to see who we gonna end up getting. So because we're legit a month out for the draft, so things are getting really real right now.
Mm, mm. Uh, I was gonna throw that other Keyshawn question there about like, nah, we ain't finna do that. That's three completely different headaches we ain't trying to deal with. But he said he feel like the Falcons may draft the center in the first round. Feels like they haven't addressed that position yet in a need of one. Would any of y'all say that that would be kind of a reach if they was to go that route?
I would turn in my Falcons uniform as a fan if they do that. It
I
ain't no
understand
one here that makes no sense.
I understand we got a hold on offense on that center because we didn't get Dalman. We didn't get him under a new deal. But at the same time, you got to look at the other side of the ball and see how many damn deficiencies we have over there. You don't have any solid D tackle anymore. You really don't have two, if we're being honest. Um, linebackers, your linebackers are, you need depth in that position in the free safety spot, and then you got to think about corners too. So, like, we got to focus on defense this year. We have,
I mean, that's all true, but ain't nobody out there that's worthy of that. Like you got to be worthy of. And Jared Wilson at University of Georgia, he's not worthy of that. All right, and he's the number one ranked center, and according to several polls out there. So you gotta we gotta stop looking at our needs and look what the value what those picks are on top of it. All right, the value of that player as well as where our need is. You can't have one without the other when you're talking about drafting, and that's why you look at the Atlanta Falcons last year. Our value and our needs was much more. It to be honest, in hindsight, it was the perfect thing to do for the Atlanta Falcons to draft Michael Penix because at that time, it's like no guarantee that Kirk Cousins is going to be even, healthy. So they had to, and from what we've seen right now, Michael Penix looks like he's the real freaking deal. The way that he was able to pick up the offense, that quickly. That right there is what stood out. Like we all knew that Michael Penix had the ability, had the skills. But what stood out this year is that his ability to pick up the offense. That right there is unprecedented. Like you don't see those types of things for young quarterbacks. He's been, compared to other quarterbacks, he's what 26, so he's had a lot of time. But at the end of the day, it's like he still got a lot of experience, and that's what stands out to him. So the value has to matter. Has to reach this, has to reach the need too. And right now, the Falcons, the value is not. It doesn't reach the need that we have.
Mm,
We good at center. We'll be good at center. Like Drew Dalman was a fourth round pick, so you don't need a center in the first round. Like if you go look at just the history of centers being drafted, you don't need to
Mud
draft that in the first
Mud
round.
wasn't a high pick.
Yeah, I mean Jason Kelsey that just retired 2 years ago. He was like I think he was a really late draft pick as well. So you can find centers later on in the draft, and I trust Dwayne Leffert to develop that offensive line group. We've seen what Ryan Newsel has been able to do, and I'm still not opposed to that. I don't believe he signed with anybody. Bring Newsel back. He knows the offense. He played pretty well. I still would draft a guy, but you can find a center even in the seventh round. You can find a center.
Um, hey, like I said, let me shout out a few more people that just joined us. Floyd Donnelly, we got Three Dirty in here, John St. Clair, JB1, Savannah Swag. Appreciate y'all coming in. I think they did resign News. I think for another year. If I'm not mistaken, I might need somebody to fact check me on that. But I
No,
think that
he was tendered. He was
he was
he
tendered. Okay.
restricted clearance, so he was gonna be on the team regardless anyway.
hmm
That's
So
why
he's so,
nobody gonna sign him like that.
right. But
But
damn it, what's the question I was about to ask? Because Nacho Libre picture kind of throwing me off a little bit. But um, hmm. So as far as the other aspects of the rumor mills and stuff, and like I said, I definitely want to give Jew a shout out on this because he's been killing it with the draft prospects. That's why you don't really see us doing it too much because Jew is killing the game right now.
Jew and Coach.
Jew and Coach killing the game right now with the draft prospects. But there's another name that just recently just started popping up here just in the last couple of days. And it kind of goes back to one of the questions that we asked earlier in the offseason. This is a what if, this is a possibility. Isaiah Bond is getting some looks at the Falcons. Like you said, what would your take be on the Falcons if they went another offensive player for the see one, two, fifth year in a row?
Personally, I don't care. Like for me, I don't care because for one, we got that piece of crap. And head coach has done me no favors. I don't believe in anything he's done defensively. So, like drafting players, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, with his inability to do the right thing and develop the players, what good is drafting a guy in the first round? You don't know how to use him. So until he shows me, I honestly would not care if we went offense because I don't believe in anything Raheem is telling me right now. Nothing. Not a damn thing he's telling me. And I'm just speaking defensively. Like he's showing me nothing to say, all right, I can see where this team is headed. He's done nothing. All he's done is brought back the players that like him. Okay? The same crap that we're talking about. You just bringing in guys that like you. You ain't developing guys. Leonard Floyd like you. He played for you. Okay? Full all those guys played with you. They like you. So until he shows me that he can actually develop players and develop a plan and put together a game plan, him Jeff over it, I would not matter. It wouldn't matter to me at all. Because you can draft guys all the time, but can you develop
Hmm.
I'm gonna say this
Okay.
when it comes to drafting a wide receiver. If the Falcons draft a wide receiver, we better be trading Kyle Pitts away from this team. Personally, I would not draft a wide receiver in the first round. But if they decide to do that, then I mean, at this point, we need to somebody got to go. You got. I've been saying this, y'all know, for the last 2 years. You have too many weapons. You're not going to be able to get all of these guys to football. There's only one football. Now, like I said again, if you have a vision and it works, fine. But if we draft a wide receiver in the first round and we miss the playoffs again, or we're below 500, everybody is getting fired. I'm just being honest with you guys. I made a video talking about Joe Fontenot. I love him as a person. I love him as he came in and fixed the cap and all of that. But heads are gonna roll if this team doesn't turn it around this season. They got to make the playoffs. Period. That's how I'm looking at it. So I mean, if you go wide receiver, to me, that means that somebody on the chopping block. That means you're trying to get rid of Pitts, or maybe you're saying we're gonna just, have a
it? It
stacked
ain't.
offense, but we're not having
It
Pitt, we're not extending Pitts.
It's the two that we see right now, right in our face. It's Darnell Mooney and it's Tyler Allgeier. Just hate to tell y'all that.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all this though, and this is where I want to get into the mind of these executives, these front office people on at Fire Branch. All right,
Hmm.
they probably seen Isaiah Bond as a great pick, and let me tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Look what happened 10 years ago. We had
Hmm.
a Julio Jones, we had a Roddy White. Hmm.
Mm.
Hold on.
I know
We
where you going.
also Raheem Morris also has a great relationship with Steve Sarkisian.
Yeah,
Hmm.
why you caught that too? Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
So
yeah.
so so I'm telling y'all, if on draft night, if Isaiah Bond name get called, you know what? I'm just gonna I'm not even gonna feel shocked. I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'm like, okay, what I'm gonna wear tomorrow, and when do I need to run errands the next day? What I got to do? Yeah, it's just life gonna have to go on. But drafting a wide receiver is not wise because yeah, y'all want to sit there and try to
From what
build this
standpoint?
juggernaut offense again. Guess what? You still got to you still got to stop the opposing team from scoring
Hold
points
on,
too.
hold on. I got a question for you right there. You said drafting a wide receiver is not wise, but from what standpoint? Because from an age standpoint, it is wise. Because if let's say Pitts and Mooney is not your guy.
Which they know they not. So I'm like, it's not wise to if you're trying. Look at. I'm just gonna be honest with far as Raheem Morris. And yeah, I agree with you too, because he haven't developed anybody. So I don't really trust anybody we draft a defense that's gonna be good under him. I
Mm-hmm.
just but to save your job, to try to save y'all asses, especially Terry, like I ain't putting all the blame on Terry Fontenot, but you gonna have to stop drafting offensive guys and draft you to defense in the first round. Now, now that's what I'm saying. Like far as the we know Mooney's not the guy. We know Drake London is gonna end up being here for a long time. All right. But why are we trying to build this off not?
I,
Like you got to stop.
I'm sorry, Kev. I got another question for you, and I got a question for y'all because you just are making some good points. But the thing is, we keep saying it's not wise. It's not wise to do it offensively.
It's not wise for Raheem
Hold on,
Morris.
hold on. I know where you're going. Hold on. I'm gonna take you there even more. All right. Since it's not wise to do that, then if we know, can we all agree that no one really believes in what Raheem and Olbrick is doing? Do we all agree there?
Yeah.
I gotta figure out what the hell they doing in the first place. Man, that's the problem.
So if they still have no clue of where the defense is of Jeff Olbrick and Raheem, because you stated that for one, he better get it done now. But if he better get it done now, doesn't that like is that a real smart way to draft the bring? Is it really a smart thing to draft a guy knowing that he better get it done this year, and if he doesn't get it done, he's going to get fired? So is it really smart to draft a defensive end, a defensive back, or a linebacker in the first round? Because we don't know what Raheem and his defense is. So
Yeah.
question mark.
Yeah, it is wise to draft a D guy because guess what? If he's gone, he gone. But at the same time, I have more faith in the successor coach coming in, and he
I don't
has
even know who he is. God damn.
what? What the hell did I?
No, I said you don't even know who the successor coach is, and you got more
But that's where you know what my heart at.
right.
This I got a
Damn.
question. I got a question for y'all for the panel. Y'all mentioned him Darnell Mooney. Like I was looking at his contract. It says his contract is due. He signed a 3-year deal. It says he has till 2020. He'll be a free agent in 2027. So like, do y'all think he's gonna get traded?
Who?
I mean, the
Darnell
Darnell
Mooney.
Mooney.
money that
Yeah.
the money is what said that he's gone after this year. So it's not necessarily the list. If you look at the contract, for
Uh-huh.
example, most of the guaranteed when that guaranteed money starts going up, that's when guys end up getting traded because they have no more guaranteed money. And for what I understand with Darnell Mooney, it was more so of a 2 to 3 year deal. As I pull the contract up, um, it's 13 and 25, and the cap hit 14 and it's 19. All right, so looking at his contract, yeah, he's a good player, but the thing is he the type of receiver that a Michael Penix wants to throw to? And I think those are the things that because yeah, all right, so 26 is when the dead money for yeah. It goes from 20, it goes from 9 and then 10, but there's an out after 25, a potential out. So it's essentially a 2 year deal for the Atlanta Falcons. So he's due to be a free agent in 26, but the Falcons could get out of that contract with a dead cap to hit of just $5 million. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I see that. Okay. I mean, if y'all think
so
he gonna be gone, then I understand where y'all coming from as far as drafting a wide receiver. But I just couldn't. I can't justify it in the first round. I mean, but if they do it, like I said, I'm fine with anything. All I'm telling them is they better win. So whatever
they
you
bet
do,
that's it, right?
if they
Mhm.
think like, are we not going to be able to develop, we don't think Mike Green is going to come right in and give us anything. We don't think none of these pass rushers going to come in and give us anything immediately. If that's the way that they thinking on their draft board, I'm cool with it. All I'm gonna tell
Right.
them is you better get the job done.
You
Like,
better
so if
win.
you want, yeah, if you want a wide receiver and you think that that person's gonna come in and elevate the team, I just don't see how that's gonna work because last year they proved to me if you're gonna keep Pitts on this team this season, you got Mooney, Pitts, Drake London, Bijan. Like somebody got to be out the door, even when it comes to the receivers, because there's no way you're gonna be able to feature that new guy that you bringing in. Like it worked with Calvin Ridley because Sanu was not a guy when we had Sanu that was getting those targets like that. So it's like the pecking order immediately went Julio, Ridley, Sanu. Immediate, as soon as Calvin Ridley was drafted, he jumped Sanu far as the pecking order. But if you bring in this new guy, I don't see how that would work if you're gonna say, okay, it's gonna be Drake London, you got Bijan. So is it gonna be that new kid and then Mooney? I don't see how that's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? I don't see how that's gonna work and how that's gonna improve this team.
Mm. Well, as far as the wide receiver, when you saying is it a good idea, is it a bad idea, whatnot? Um, I wouldn't have no issue with wide receiver being drafted this year if we didn't already have, like you said, you have to remember too. Michael Pennis is going to dictate how they gonna draft this anyway.
Yeah.
But if he's already told the brass, the upper brass, that he's comfortable with what they have right now, I don't see wide receiver even being a draft pick for the Atlanta Falcons. Now, in the weirdest scenario that they go this route, we're essentially going to be going right back down that road that we left with the last GM and trying to rebrand the damn greatest show on turf while ignoring a vital part of the team, which is the defense, which is getting to the quarterback, which is putting the quarterback on his ass. which is getting turnovers. See, I think right now with this kind of being a do or die season, like you said, not just for Raheem Morris, but for Terry Fontenot,
Mm-hmm.
they have to focus on the weak spots of this team. Like you said, you got your franchise quarterback, you got your franchise running back, you got your wide receiver 1, 2, you got your tight end 1. That would be career suicide for Terry Fontenot if they go with another offensive player in that first round.
The only offensive position they can justify drafting is a center. Outside of that,
Mm-hmm.
outside of that, bruh, you better be looking at some damn hog mollies on that defensive line.
Mm-hmm. Because
Or
like I
any
said, you
playmaker.
got Drake.
Yeah,
Like I
or some
said, you
or
got
any
Drake.
defensive. Yeah, like playmakers. That's all I would say. Like it don't necessarily. I would say it has to be defensive line. But if you give me a top safety in this draft, you give me Will Johnson at corner, my mouth is closed
Yeah.
because you trying to fix the problem.
You should
Boy,
have said
I
Will
was
Johnson. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You just heard Don just cream on himself like a motherfucker when you said that.
Look,
who the hell is Dunn? Who the hell is
I
Dunn?
said El Dundo.
Who is El Dunn?
Dondo. He
Who is
called him El Dondo. Oh Lord.
Day
But
Cerro de Reno?
yeah, but like you said, that's the thing. That would be career suicide for Terry Fontenot if he went offense with that first pick. Not saying that he doesn't have to go offense at all in this draft, but like you said, as far as the receivers part, you got Dre London, you got Darnell Mooney, you still keeping Ray Ray, still got Kyle Pitts, still got Casey Washington. Some tell me there's gonna be Chris Blair still on this team. You got Bijan out the backfield. You got a plethora of pass catchers or pass catcher potentials on this team. So I can't see. I like I said, I can't see them drafting any wide receiver this year. Like you said, the
Look,
focus is
I'm
going to
gonna say
have
this.
to be in that front seven.
I'm gonna say this. Everything is off limits. For one, what did the Falcons do last year? They made
And
it
what?
clear what they were gonna do. They
Mm-hmm,
made it clear. They were gonna focus on their quarterback position, right? So we can
mm-hmm,
sit up here and say what we can't see, but they've already made the decision that the most important part of this team that they need to focus on is quarterback and making sure that quarterback is stable. Okay? It's not like I said, for me, I'm not looking at it about what I want. I think you should focus on building the team, getting guys like, defensive tackles or whatnot. Like
mm-hmm,
I don't think it's a good idea to draft a corner, especially when you've already paid and you're about to pay Jesse Bates a second contract and give him a second extension with AJ money's about to come in. Like I don't think it's a smart. I don't think it's smart to do that at this particular point because of you've already made that decision to build and make Bijan Robinson, because it's not just a quarterback. It's Bijan Robinson, Drake London, and it's Kyle Pitts. You've already made the decision to do that. So
mm-hmm,
also, they've already chosen how how this team is going to be constructed, and they're going to do it with defensive guys that are just, I hate to say it, but B level players, and they're going to
mm-hmm,
develop. So for me, like I would rather them go defense, but if you just look at how this team, they telling us what they value more. We just gotta accept the bet. Go right back to what you. Hey, you better win. That's all that matters.
mm-hmm. Like you said, you've already made the identity of the Atlanta Falcons its offense.
Mm-hmm. Ain't nothing we can do about that. It's the Falcons are clear about what they want this team to look like.
but this is what Don was talking about as far as this is kind of like a recurring talking point as why we're hard on Raheem Morris and stuff like that is because since we already know the majority of the team's money is going to be focused on this offense, we really have to develop these defensive players. Like I said, just from last year's draft, you already picked two defensive tackles that were going to replace Grady anyway. So we already knew Grady's time was up.
Zach Harrison, Root,
Zach Harrison, Root,
Doyle,
Brandon
all
Douglas.
they were here to replace. They were brought here to replace him, and they may keep David Onyemata a year because he's a lot cheaper than Grady and he's still a veteran. So that's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. Like, they've made it clear about what they want to do. Is just like I said, to me, you better get some coaches in here to develop it. If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna keep this model, I don't have a problem with it. But you better bring in some coaches that can develop.
Mhm. So let me ask everybody a question. Let me ask everybody a question. As we already kind of seen, with the signings of a Leonard Floyd, we seen the signing of Divine Diablo. Um, they it seems like they was more focused on trying to get a little bit more athleticism in that linebacking core. Um, what did y'all think? What do y'all think that does as far as the
I'll let you have this.
what do you what do you how do you feel about that, Jew? Or how do you feel about the makeup of these guys and how they fit in this defense?
I mean, like I said, I like what they've done so far. I just think that we need to go out and bring in a pass rusher. They need to go out and get more corners because you can never have enough pass rush. You can never have enough secondary players. So I like what we've done so far. I just want to see them go out and bring in guys that are playmakers in the draft. Because personally, what I feel about this team is like 2016. We're an offensive minded team. The defense is going to have to get takeaways. I don't assume that this defense is going to be a top 10 like yardage defense. I expect this team to be bend don't break on defense until I see who they draft. But I expect it to be a high scoring team and you try to take the ball away, and be opportunistic on defense. As 2016, we all know I don't want to bring the Super Bowl back up, but we should have won the Super Bowl. We were the better team. Even with us having, I think, the 26th ranked defense, we were up 28-3. The game was over. If we run the ball, the game was over. So you can win playing that style of football. You just got to get the right matchups in the playoffs. Your offense have to be clicking on all cylinders. So that's when y'all bringing up them going to get another wide receiver. If they go out and do that, you have an offense that's putting up dang near 30 points every Sunday. You give your team a chance to win. But it's when you play that way, it's you have like a very outside like this. You only can win in one way. And that's what's dangerous about that. You go up against a Philadelphia that wants to run the ball and touch push you to death. And a team that you get behind like that, having a team that just can put up points. If you play a team that's going to play ball control against you, it's going to be a bad matchup for you unless you can jump out two leads. In 2016, y'all remember we jumped out to a lot of big leads. When the teams are playing from behind, you can play that style of football, but every game is not going to unfold that way. So that's what makes me
Mhm.
concerned about trying to play football that way of being offensive heavy and then just expect to make plays. Because what happens again? I said this last year. What happens when you don't turn the ball, take the ball away, force turnovers, and now you stuck having to play a physical team that wants to run the ball and have a big offensive line that's going to run right down the middle of your defense. What do you do then when your offense is on the sideline and can't get back on the field? That's the problem that you're going to have. That's the problem we are running into. So that's my thing. It's like the defense, I think that they did a good job of bringing in guys that fit this scheme. But that's what I see the problem is like you're gonna have to get corners that you can see that can get interceptions. You're gonna have to get pass rushers and defensive linemen up front to stop the run and get after the quarterback. But you're gonna need guys that are ball hawks and playmakers. That's what we need on this defense. That's what you're gonna need because that's what I feel like our identity is. They haven't said the identity, but I feel like the identity is offense, score a lot of points, defense, give me 2 turnovers or takeaways every game. Give me 2 or 3 turnovers, get an interception, cause a fumble, put Michael Penix on a short field, give those guys multiple cracks at scoring touchdowns, and force other teams like a Philadelphia to have to chase points. So they can't just sit up there and give the ball to Saquon Barkley the whole game. Make Jalen Hurts have to throw the ball. That's how we played it in 2016. We made teams chase points, meaning we took their running game out of it. That was a big reason why Vic Beasley had the sack numbers that he had because teams were playing from behind, which means what? They got to throw the ball, which means that gives Leonard Floyd more opportunities to rush the passer because now teams are forced to play one dimensional. So that's what I kind of think. That's my long answer, okay?
But
Oh no, you good, dog. You good. You good. Like I said, all answers is needed.
but we
All,
have this is not your prototypical offense that scores 30 points though. It's not like it's the the Baltimore Ravens when most of they do is everything is based off the play action. You know what I'm saying? They're running the ball. This Atlanta Falcons offense is multifaceted. It can be multifaceted. They can have games where they lean on Tyler Allgeier, their offensive line, and just kill the clock, or they can throw the ball with Mike Penix. They should be able to have that balance offensively. So this is the good thing. This is why you got teams like the Dallas Cowboys back in the day with Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin. Like you couldn't just sit on one thing. They could literally, ground the damn ball all game long, and your defense is pretty much resting up. So it's like I do understand with the Atlanta Falcons, what they're doing. They're trying to create where not one aspect of a team is totally dependent on another aspect. So at any given point, we can either throw you in the game, win throwing, or we can run ourselves back into it. You know what I'm saying? So like we have the talent to do both of those. And I think with the defense, like for me, this is where I have a problem. I have a major problem with this. I'm not spending no money on any. I don't want to spend no first round pick on somebody who cannot develop it. I think that's an absolute totally waste. That's just how I say it. I
mhm.
don't want to. I do not want to bring in another Vic Beasley or Tack McKinley if you can't develop them. It's an absolute waste. These guys being put in the wrong positions. Like for me, I don't trust this guy at all. There's nothing about Raheem that I trust with a first round pick. I just don't. I would
Question
rather
for you.
load up on. Go ahead.
I don't mean to cut you off. This question. So I know we brought in Nate Ollie. What's your feelings on him? Because I don't really know. I'm going off of what I've read and heard about
I'll
him,
let
but
John
I
have
don't
that
know if
one.
he's a developer of pass rushers like they say. So I'm thinking that they brought him in. Do you believe in him? I don't believe in Raheem Morris to develop no pass rusher either. I'm right there with you. That's why I say go get you a playmaker on the defensive side, like a safety or corner. I don't really care. You guys know I personally want an edge rusher. But I'm down with a Will Johnson. I'm down with the South Carolina kid, the safety. I'm down with the Eamon Wari. I'm big on those guys because to me they've proven in college that they're playmakers. Like similar to I basically compared the kid from South Carolina to Keon O'Neal. The year we got him, I thought we reached because I'm like, who is this kid out of Florida that we taking that Dan Quinn just is familiar with? I didn't think that he was gonna have an impact that he had immediately until he actually got on the field and I seen what he was about. And I'm like, well, dang, that was the piece that we needed. Like he knew what he needed to run that cover three. So I'm like, he had a big portion, he was a big part of that Super Bowl team. So I'm like, if he knows what, like if they know what they want, I'm fine with them taking a secondary guy. But I would just want to get your thoughts, Mike, on that Nate Ollie, because I don't really know. From my people telling me that he can develop pass rushers. That's what he's known for.
Yeah,
But I
that's
don't
what he
know.
does. That's what he does, and he's done a wonderful job. You go look at the Colts, even the Texans. That's what he's done, has developed pass rushers. So he's good at developing pass rush. But the thing is, even with the DBs, I don't trust him with DBs either. Because what we saw last year, we saw Clark Phillips play well when they were aggressive, and then what he do? Go right back to playing 70 yards off the ball. So I don't trust him with anything. There's nothing this dude like he has shown me nothing, not a thing.
I
I
love y'all.
do not want to develop. I do not want to bring in a guy just so they can play 10 yards off, 7 yards off the ball. Like I just so I'm hanging my hats on Olbrich. All right, that I'm just because I don't believe in anything Raheem does.
So to add the context to what the fellas and what the panel is talking about is they essentially want to we want to see them bring in guys who already got it, who doesn't need that 2 to 3 years of development, just for the simple fact that if Raheem may not be the guy that helps in development, you want a guy that can come in and instantly just be that spark. Now, for the panel, um, who? I mean, like I said, this is just y'all, this just for your own selfish purposes. Who do you see? Who do you think out of all the prospects that you've seen so far that possibly may go in the first round would be the best fit at that pick, at that first round pick, that can help this defense right away?
I'm gonna say Basic Graham for Michigan.
Hmm. Well, I'm gonna
We
say Jalen Walker.
what'd you say?
Jalen Walker.
Uh,
Okay.
I say Mason Graham from Michigan because we need a solid guy on the D line, a nasty guy that can actually. And this man has literally won double teams. All right, so we need somebody aggressive and nasty on our defensive line. And Mason Graham, he fits what we really need. I know I'm a Michigan guy, but I'm telling y'all, we get somebody like him, man, we gonna be great on the D line.
Nah, he got a mo. He got that he got that motor on that defensive line. That is a weapon within itself.
And Raheem
I
gonna
don't
have.
look, I don't vouch for Michigan players like that to be a Falcon, but this guy and I like Will Johnson, I really do. But I think Mason Graham will improve our defense more. I don't trust a Will Johnson with Raheem Morris. I just don't.
I don't trust Raheem with nothing, man.
And Mike, you said Jalen Walker.
Yeah, because I know that Old Brick can develop linebackers. He's already proven that.
Okay. What about you, Jew?
I'm sticking with Mike Green. He's been the guy that he just jumps off the film when I watch his highlights. I don't care when I go back and look at his film. He just to me he can do it all. He can stop the run. He can rush the passer. He got pass rush moves. He's polished. So if he's on the board, I'm getting a little bit nervous because everybody keep raving about him to the point where I think that another team might jump ahead of us and go ahead and take Mike Green because everybody keep mocking him to the Falcons. And usually when we have somebody that keeps getting mocked to the Falcons, that's not who they draft. But I would go with Mike Green just for the purposes. To me, he's the most polished, and he's to me he can do everything. Like what kind of ticks me off a little bit about Arnold Epicadi is like his setting the edge ability. It's like for whatever reason, if you guys notice, they don't like to start Epicadi like on first and second down. They'll take him out of the game. For the last couple years, they've been having Lorenzo Carter out there, and I'm like, why? Because Lorenzo Carter really wasn't giving us anything. But I feel like the problem was AK wasn't setting the edge properly, like in the run game. So they were almost using him as a specialist. So I really feel like Mike Green is a guy that'll be a 3 down lineman. You can use him. And to me, the motor he plays with, I just feel like he has a chance to be the next Khalil Mack. When I watch him, that's who I see. I see another Khalil Mack,
Hmm.
small college dude, but his film, his numbers, even when he went up against the Ohio States, the bigger schools, even at Marshall, he was doing his thing against those blue chip type players. So I think he's like a guy that's not gonna miss if you get him.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, I probably like I said, I'm stick with my guns, and I'll stick with the Malachi Starks pick. Just for the simple fact that you're definitely going to need a rangy safety who can cover a lot of ground,
Yeah, because
and
we
what the
backing away.
and where that will benefit from, and we've kind of seen Jesse Bates kind of maneuver over to that rover safety role where he's been the most effective. I think it allowed him to be closer to the line of scrimmage, which will help the linebackers a lot. But hey, like you said, you can't go wrong with either one of these four suggestions here. Um, but like you said, as we already know, and we've seen how this team has drafted the last 4 to 5 years. It's always gonna we I think we ain't gonna find out who they gonna actually draft until literally the week before the draft before you start hearing reports on some shit.
But I'm not spending no first round pick on Raheem until he proved it to me. I'm trading that pick away. I'm trading down, and I'm not spending. Bro, I'm not. I'm dead. Y'all look, bro. I'm dead serious. Like I've seen what. See, the problem that I got, I know what Mike Smith was good at. He was great at developing linebackers. I know he could do that. When you look at Dan Quinn, he's great at developing pass rushers, edge guys. He's great at that. I've seen him do that. He knows what to do with his safeties. He knows what to do with his DBs. But Raheem has shown me nothing. That's the problem that I have. He's shown me nothing. All the time, all the while he's been here going through 15. The only thing that I know he good at, and we thought he was good at, was putting together a pass game. We realize now that that's some bullshit because we done promoted Tyler Yates as the passing game coordinator. So we know that him and Zach don't know what the hell they doing now with the passing game. Cause we just saw that. So it's like, what is this guy good at? And like I said, for me, like I'm not spending 5 years of a prospect on a guy that's gonna have him dropping in coverage. Man, look, if I see one more defensive tackle dropping in coverage again, I'm going to lose my crap. If I see another 6'5", 270-pound Matthew Judon running down the dang sideline trying to guard anybody, I'm gonna lose my mind. Like I don't know how you can trust this guy, and I'm just talking about Raheem. Trust Raheem with any type of significant defensive talent. He has to improve in some way, shape, or form. And maybe that is Kevin Ollie. Maybe that is Jeff Obert. But I'm not spending my bro. You getting the top. You getting first. You getting 20. Anything above 20, you ain't touching. Raheem, you're not getting any pick over 20. Anything 20 and below, that's what you getting.
Lord. But yeah, that's and I see another name people talk about with Jahad Campbell. Like I said, that's another good one too. Like you said, I also kind of found an alternative to a Jahad Campbell if they don't get him, which is a guy that they may go second round. I mean, I tell the fellas probably take a look at this guy. What that dude named Demetrius Knight from South Carolina. Y'all might want to take a swing at that. I saw BP said as long as it ain't Shamar Stewart. Yeah, I can attest to that. The film don't lie. The film don't lie. That film was god awful.
We done already had that discussion over here.
That film was god awful. I like look. If I want Chad Lavallee again, then I get a goddamn Shamar Stewart.
You had to bring that up.
No, I tell you, man. If I want another Jamal Anderson, I get Shamar Stewart. But I'll try to get Mike to calm down on the Raheem Morris rant because, like, I want him to save some of that for tomorrow's show because that's where we go really. That's really where we go. Kind of give you the reasons why a lot of the Raheem Morris criticism is valid, and you're gonna be in your feelings about it. Fuck your feelings, but
that man said Shamar Stewart is technically
BP said Shamar Stewart is Route 96 all over. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I look. Jude done already talked about Jude actually put me on to him to see why he was do you know that they literally got Shamar Stewart ranked as the number one defensive end in this year's draft? Because Mike Green and them are not technically defensive ends, they edge rushers, outside linebackers, so they didn't count them in that ranking. But they got Shamar Stewart as ranked as the number one bookend in this draft. Exactly.
Shamar Stewart is not the best player on his own team. He's seen who the best pass rusher on this team is. His name is Nick Scorton.
Say it again, Jude, for the people in the back.
Nick Scorton. If the Falcons trade back, that's the name that we need to look for in the Falcons. Nick Scorton. Go look at his highlights. Everybody in the chat. Nick Scorton is the guy that you should be.
Yeah. Nick Scorton. Yeah, I can vouch for Nick Scorton. Shamar Stewart, no.
Dexter Lawrence, George, see, this is why you get cussed out. Like saying crap like
that. It could be a Dexter Lawrence type my ass. Dexter's laboratory, more like it. Shit.
Dexter Lawrence, look. Boy, you trying to get somebody.
Well, he played more like Dexter from 10 Pen Alley, nigga. If y'all remember that game. Oh, he said I meant DeMarcus Lawrence.
Okay.
Okay, I'm about to say. Okay, we cool. That be rolling. That man said Dexter Lord. I'm like, boy, fuck that boy. Dexter's laboratory and that bitch. I'm like, what? Let me see. So we're gonna let y'all go ahead and start asking some questions here because we got about 10 minutes there. Right after us, we got Mr. White coming on at 10:30 over there with OG Big Sam. Yeah. Savannah said, looks like Tarzan play like James. Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, that's the thing. But like I said, that's the thing. And that's one of those things where those combine measurables can scare a lot of people away because it'd be like, yeah, you a workout warrior, you got all the measurables, you got all the athletic tests and stuff like that. But when people see the film, people see the tape, they're gonna be like you said, that's gonna tell a completely different story. Like I said, if anybody remembers Burning Golston, that's who Shabar Stewart really remind me of.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Combine warrior, dude did all the tests right. When you actually look on the film, well, about as average as you can get.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, now this is question time, y'all. Y'all go ahead and get them off. So Savannah, we said what time coming on tomorrow? It's gonna be we gonna be live at 6:05. 6:05 p.m. Eastern time. Um, Jordan Test boy say I like Josiah Stewart. That's a Stewart I could deal with. Shamar,
Yeah, he can definitely deal with that.
I can deal with Josiah Stewart.
Oh yes,
I
Josiah.
I can deal with Josiah Stewart.
Josiah, what he
Shamar
is
Shamar Stewart,
out.
you can throw him in the garbage.
Yeah, but Josiah Stewart, man, I'm telling y'all, man, that boy is a dog. Like,
Keyshawn said I'll take Presley from Ole Miss first overall before I take Shamar Stewart at 15.
but Josiah Stewart, I think but he's been not comp, but he's been like projected late first, early second.
That makes sense. Yeah, because they're looking at it based on, like you said, Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant. So they're looking at him as more of a complimentary
But
bookend.
the edge guy though, he's an edge guy. So, but Grant should go. Grant, I think late first, late early too. Grant is a good guy too, but like I just wish he would have stayed another year. That's
So okay, so that swag here said, why won't you trade Tyler now and get something for him while you can? Anybody
Mm,
want to take this one?
it's more important to develop your quarterback right now the proper way. So, like, if Mike Penix ended up struggling for any reason this year, he's the starting quarterback. So, at some point in time, you might want to dumb your offense down just to get him back into a rhythm. So, having two running backs that you can rely on is more.
Mhm.
So, I wouldn't trade Tyler Allgeier unless it's for a third.
hmm Because the thing is, you don't know if they are actually shipping out looking for deals. Well, like Mike said, they're always going to be looking for deals. They
Mm-hmm.
may just not have found the right deal that they looking for. And the thing
Right.
about it is, if they're not going to get the deal they looking for, like you said, they may just take the chance and let Tyler walk out here without no with tested free agent. But also, who's to say that he may still want to be here? You
Right.
don't know.
Yeah. I mean, he was a fifth round pick, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like it's not
hmm
impossible to find another Tyler.
hmm And in actuality, then when you really look at it, like you said, I know he got injured last year, but the running back that James McClellan, who's essentially a bigger version of Bijan.
Yeah. So he may fit the offense a lot. Well, I know he fits what Michael Penix does offensively more so than Tyler Algier. But like you
hmm
said, you want to have like right now, like I wouldn't be in a rush to trade Tyler Algier until I had the right
hmm
deal. Like Jace hasn't started. I still think he's a solid back. Obviously, playing at at Alabama. He put up some damn good numbers up there with a good offensive line, so we know he's a good running back. But like I said, I wouldn't be quick to get rid of him because you're still developing your young quarterback.
Mhm. Mhm. And who knows? Like you said, Tyler still may be on the trade block. They may just wait till before training camp before they pull the deal out.
Still got time, y'all. Again,
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
because the draft coming up doesn't mean the team is like all cylinders ready to go. We still gonna be making transactions between now until really the last week of preseason.
Yeah. Because you also have to think about it in this way is the more draft picks that you pick up, that's the more money that you have to accommodate for that draft class.
Mm-hmm.
But let me see. Get some more questions. Um, I let you hit this one up right here. So Keyshawn asked, "Do you think Malachi Starks would drop to 15?"
Yeah, Malachi Starks will be there at 15. Most definitely because of the I believe that the pass rushers, the quarterbacks, they'll all go before him. I think McMillan, the wide receiver out of Arizona, will be off the board. So I think that
Mhm.
uh, Malachi Starks will be there if the Falcons really want him. And per, what I'm hearing, like with them going to the pro day and stuff like that, Jeff Ulbrich really likes Malachi Starks a lot. So I
Hmm.
wouldn't be disappointed if the Falcons went with him because to me, he's a playmaker. Like I said, we need somebody that's going to take the football away, somebody that's aggressive, that's somebody that attacks the ball in the air. And as Kay talked about, he's another guy similar to a Jesse Bates that he has that range to go sideline to sideline. He can play the single, high safety role. So now you got two versatile safeties that can do different things. So I'm not opposed to starts,
Mhm.
but he'll definitely be at 15. It's no doubt in my mind. I don't think a team is taking him at 15.
Right. And I think also as well, I do kind of want to talk about this. And this is kind of like non-Falcon related here. But with the Giants, picking up Russell Wilson right now, and the fact that they already have three quarterbacks, I think the Giants right now is about to shake the draft up just a little bit, just a tad bit, if they don't go with. Because I know I'm hearing people saying that the Giants still should go after a quarterback, even though they already got three of them on their team right now. Um, like you said, that may be one of those cases where the Giants right now at three actually have the shocker spot because depending on where they go could shake this whole entire draft up. So what did you think about that acquisition and how do you think it shapes the draft in your opinion?
I think the Giants are messing up. That's what I think. I think the Giants I wouldn't have gotten both of those guys, Jameis Winston and Russell. I would have signed one of the two, and then I would have got Shador Sanders in this draft if I were them. But what it tells me, based off of what they did, is that Brian Dayball's job, he's on the hot seat this year. That's what that told me. That he's like, I need somebody that can come in and save my job. Like, we gotta be competitive. They can't have another year where they lose like only win 5 games or something crazy like that. Like they have to compete. They got to win like 8 games, 8 to 9 games to save his job. So it got to look competitive. If it don't look competitive this year, Brian Dayball is getting fired, and their GM is getting fired. But I don't feel like it's Brian Dayball's fault. I really feel like his problem is when he took that job, Daniel Jones was already there. So what he did is he made the similar mistake that Arthur Smith made when he came to Atlanta, even though he had Matt Ryan, but after Matt Ryan, they didn't go after their quarterback. I really feel like that kind of screwed Arthur Smith, and that's what's kind of screwed Dayball in this instance because he had Daniel Jones for all of those years, and he didn't handpick Daniel Jones. I feel like if he would have had a chance to handpick his quarterback to run his scheme, I actually think that Brian Dayball is a good offensive play caller. He just didn't have somebody that can run his system. So them getting Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, what that's telling me is we got to be competitive. We got to win games. I got to get a quarterback in here that can actually get the ball to Malik Neighbors and the weapons that they still do have on that
Oh
Giants
my,
team.
oh
So I
my
think that
God!
might stay away from quarterback, K. As much as they shouldn't, I still would take Shador. But at this point, can you justify it when you got those two guys, even though they're on 1 year deals, I think. So they could still
Mhm.
justify it. But I don't know why you would have both of those guys. That's what don't make sense to me. Like, how would you get two veterans and then unless you're saying like we're gonna have these guys for insurance policy, meaning we're gonna have Russell as our starter, but even if we take Shador, we don't want him to play at all this year. So if somebody get hurt, you can put, insert Jameis Winston if Russell Wilson somehow gets hurt. That means Shador is no way Shador is playing. Like they don't want him to see the field at all. They want him to have a
Mhm.
full year of development. No field, don't see the field at all. Holding the clipboard.
I mean, they already got Tommy DeVito holding clipboards like a motherfucker right now. I'm like, shit. They already got three quarterbacks. Like, hey, Southside here. Three QBs, double D's, bubble B's, Lakers, and five. You don't sit your ass down somewhere. But yeah, I think, like you said, I think the whole draft is going to be determined on where they pick or who they get. What are they going to do? Are they, like you said, it's not even a guarantee they may pick at three. They may trade back with somebody that want to come up and snatch one of the damn players.
Let me say this again because everybody still keep acting like I'm saying something bad about Raheem. I haven't said anything bad about him. He did it to his damn self.
But
All this he
but
did to himself.
but that's going right into the conversation we're going to have tomorrow is because it's like you said, is critiquing Raheem Morris. Why are people really sensitive about the critique of Raheem Morris? That's the conversation we're going to have tomorrow.
Me saying that, I'm just saying we get this comment all the time about like you be going in on him. I said I'm not going. I'm
He said
actually.
he don't trust him. The reality of it is you got to get it done to earn the trust. I mean, like you said, that's the same energy that Falcon fans had for Arthur Smith after year one.
Right. They don't want to have that same. So we're gonna have that conversation tomorrow. And as I said, I never said I didn't respect him. I mean, obviously he helped us get to a Super Bowl. Being the assistant head coach, you don't get that position without being good at something. But at the point, like you should maybe his best, and I think you talked about this all the time. Sometimes you're a better assistant than you are a head coach. Some people not the fit to be a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Hey, John said you just do it at a high volume. That's what it is.
really it.
That's essentially what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact that it's the fact that willing to say it, and a lot of people don't like that it's being said.
I don't know.
Like whatever. But that's so. So, Keyshawn asked, what are your thoughts on the Browns being interested in Kirk Cousins and them likely taking Abdul Carter with the second overall pick?
I think Kirk Cousins is an evil SOB. I'll just leave it like that. He knows exactly what he's doing. I think he's a piece of slime ball. He's a slime ball. This man made over $300 million still here talking about he wanted to keep his no trade clause. For what? Man, just get the hell out. You don't want to.
Damn Sam with this damn shit again. He said, how you believe in Homer Simpson after you let Bart burn down the season?
Exactly what happened. Like this man has done nothing for me to believe in. Nothing. Because everybody like him, I'm supposed to be like, I don't care about Leonard Floyd liking him and saying he's a father figure. I don't care. That ain't winning us no games.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got, like you said, the perfect song for Kirk Cousins. If this is homework to everybody. If you want to go look up a song that describes on how Falcon fans feel about Kirk Cousins, type in the song BFU. That's all you need to know. Let me see if anybody know that song.
no, nobody knows it.
Yeah, I know nobody gonna know it. They'll know it if they hear it. They'll know it if they hear it. But we're gonna go ahead and get up on out of here. Like I said, man, head over to Mr. White Network. Man, they about to go live here in a few minutes. Um, definitely shouts out to the rest of the AFN family as well as the Unholy Alliance. We appreciate y'all over here, the heavy hitters as usual. Like you said, y'all just make sure y'all continue to support everybody individually. We try to get Jude to the 3K mark. He's about three something away from that. We gotta get Mike at that 11K.
Yeah,
Uh,
cool.
I done finally crossed over the 1,500 mark.
Yeah, yeah.
And like you said, man, just continue to support. We got the draft coming up, man. So we got these draft shows ready for y'all. So y'all make sure y'all keep that in mind. Tune in to the 6-man convo tomorrow, where we will be talking Raheem Morris and and the entitlement of the star player.
Mm.
So we're gonna take a STS approach to the 6-man convo tomorrow. Till next time, people. We ain't here to play.
Ooh, absolutely not.
We here to stay.
Oh yeah, nigga.
You ain't gotta go home.
But you got to get the heck up out of here. Ooh yeah.
If more can have the
When?
days that pass.
Oh my God.
I got one thing I want to say. I know it's something that you could do, but last thing comes through is I want to say, Kurt, fuck you. Dun, 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 dun. All right, we out. Ooh.